My name is Cindy Berger and I am a jeweler. I make hand fabricated items. I've been involved in this with the studio cruise since its very inception. Am on the steering committee and have been a part of the tour every year. It's a great exposure for artists in the area and not only good advertising, but it helps the public understand how an artist creates a piece from start to finish and all the problems that they run into and all the joy of making art. Silver, this is all done fabricated from hand. So you start with the sheet silver. This is sterling silver. And I've drawn my design on with a permanent marker and drilled out the holes where the saw blade needs to go. And you'll see that when I go over the saw bench. So that's all it is so far. Yeah. This is just a jeweler saw with a 4/0 blade in here, and I've got the little tiny holes drilled so I can get inside there. And I usually start with the smallest space and work backwards. This is beeswax, just a hunk of beeswax used to lubricate the blade. And my optivisor so I can see what I'm doing. And I like to work really close to the project. And I think this is what sets my jewelry apart from a lot of others is it's called pierce work or the sawing. The secret to sawing is to let the saw do the work. Don't try and force it or you end up with broken blades. So when the piece is sawn, then we're going to solder the two pieces together. So you have to sand this just to clean the silver so that the solder sticks to it. And this is a process called tinning. This is the flux. Okay, I'm going to use this one instead. Faster. This is just straight acetylene with available air as opposed to the mini torch, which is oxyacetylene. And now I'm just flowing the flux on the silver. Until it gets real glassy. You have to be real careful with some of those little tiny pieces of tree in there. I don't want to melt them, so you gotta know when to pull that torch away. And then the secret to a good solder joint is spit. It'll gross a lot of people out. Put it to the base and hope that we have enough solder on there to flow.
You just grab the tweezers and flip it then?
Yep. Need one more little piece. I'm watching for the solder to come up from underneath. So I know the whole thing's connected.
And how did you get into this?
By making wind chimes out of forks and old forks and spoons.
I did see all the forks and
Yep. Okay. This is a pickle pot. That's going to take some of the fire scale off, we hope. And I'll have to check it once and make sure I got the entire thing soldered 100%. This is an acid, just acid and water base.
I can smell the acid.
This is baking soda and water to neutralize it. Although it's weak enough that you could leave it in there for quite a while before it started eating it. And I think we got a good solder. Good. Same thing, I would use the beeswax to lubricate that. And I want to hold it where the stone's going to sit. Okay, and then the back. So, then I clean it up on a little bandsaw over there. Okay. Certainly not pretty yet, though. Okay, you can see all these little blurbs on here where I use too much solder. My bad.
seems just fine.
Yeah, the stone actually is the last thing that you put in. And then you go around it and tighten the bezel around the stone. Like so. You try and work from opposite sides so that it goes on evenly.
Yeah.
And that one's in there pretty tight.
Okay.
So.
Ta-da!
I do have a website. It's cindyburger.com, B-U-R-G-E-R. I do mostly retail my items, my jewelry at craft shows during the summer. But you can contact me on my website.
This week's Moment in Nature is sponsored by Coles Resort,